My name is Robert Deur and I'm a professor of economics at the Erasmus School of Economics. Yeah, so I do research and teaching, and my teaching I do two different courses. So one is applied microeconomics for a second year bachelor in economics. And additionally, I also teach a seminar in master, that's the Master Economics of Markets and Organizations. And I teach there the final seminar where students work on research, and they present research and they discuss research. So the students are super active in that class for a full block. I worked on a study that we did together with the Ministry of Social Affairs. And in this study we try and make employers aware of a subsidy scheme that has been in place already for 1 or 2 years or so. And we can see in the administrative data that it is underused, meaning that there exist employers who could in principle get the subsidy, but they don't apply for it. Even though applying for the subsidy is super simple. So the idea is, with a simple letter, can we make the subsidy more effective? So there's a form that employers need to fill in anyways, and all they need to do to get the subsidy is to, cross a box. It's all quite simple, and the stakes are high, up to 7,000 euros per year. So I do teaching and research. Teaching is concentrated in 2 blocks, so that is 4 months. And then the remaining 8 months are devoted to research for at least 90% or so. On the side, I also advise master and bachelor students on the thesis. But otherwise everything is focused on research. So the majority of my time I spent on research. I remember when I was still a teenager in high school that the first time that I got an economics course, I was already very, very excited by it. So, and by then I actually thought that what I wanted to become was an economics teacher at a high school. And my father, he was a glassblower at the Utrecht University. And he told me, that's really nice, the ambition to become an economics teacher at high school. But perhaps rather than going to the teacher academy, which I really was planning to do, you may also, try and go to university and study economics there. And then always you can decide later to become an economics teacher at the high school, but you also have other opportunities. And I'm still very grateful for that advice. So I went on and did a study in economics here in Rotterdam. It seemed to me the most natural choice. I wrote a PhD thesis about political decision making, and in particular about macro kind of topics like unemployment, so labor market institutions, so those kind of more like macro kind of topics in combination with political decision making. That's what my PhD thesis was about. So I expanded my research focus a bit. So I also started to study the preferences and the goals that public sector workers have. So I moved from politicians also to the study of public sector workers, and then came also my interest in how these differ from people that aspire a career in business. So I started studying things like, who aims for a career in the public sector, and on what does that depend, and are people in the end happy about this, and are public sectors all around the world run in different ways, and what does that mean for the kind of people that want to work in the public sector? Those kind of issues really interested me. What I like is when students come up with their own ideas. That is what I particularly like, because economics can be seen as sort of a toolbox. So there's empirical methods, there's theoretical methods, and the methods can be applied to ideas to see whether ideas are actually good in a sense. So good in the sense of theoretically consistent, good in the sense that they are empirically relevant, so that they make any sense in the world outside. And when students come up with their own ideas, I typically really like that, because oftentimes they surprise me with their ideas. And what I also like a lot is that when students work on their own ideas, that's when they're most enthusiastic. So rather than working on the ideas of a professor or from the literature, but when they have their own ideas, then I really see that they want to know the answers. And then, you know, they have the energy and the spirit to get there.